goal. That is a dream goal.
They found it. They finally found the goal they were looking for.
What a finish that is. Do not scratch your eyes. This is really happening. Hello everyone, welcome to the Game in Frame live stream. I'm Josh Pratt with Marlon Diaz behind the camera. We're at Sousa All-In & Cohen Complex for UPSL Northeast American action. The fall 2025 UPSL National Champions New York Renegades host Brooklyn FC under 20 tonight. The defending champions have made a strong start to spring, winning both games with clean sheets, including dispatching their bogeyman from full AFC Academy last weekend. Renegades head coach Boris Linares will be expecting nothing less than another 3 points against Brooklyn FC U20 tonight. Brooklyn have made clear they put their young side into the UPSL division to test them against top semi-pro sides for their development, and they will certainly get that test this evening. But Brooklyn have given a good account of themselves many times in this division in the past years, including against Renegades. They did push them into stoppage time on one occasion, but all the recent results for both clubs and last year's standings would certainly make Renegades heavy favourites tonight. They've won 13 of their last 14 football matches, the only defeat coming against professional USL 1 side Westchester Soccer Club in the Open Cup. This is a club at the top of their game right now, playing with all the belief of a UPSL national champion. Everyone is just running a little bit behind at the moment, and we're possibly going to have one of the other teams in pennies, owing to both showing up in black. But don't go anywhere, guys. We will be back shortly with the kickoff between New York Renegades and Brooklyn FC under 20.
From soccer fields across the USA to the legendary stadiums of Spain and Portugal, for 40 years, Petrobax has been the go-to expert for group travel to Spain and Portugal. We organize soccer group trips from start to finish, flights, hotels, transportation, and guided tours, all perfectly coordinated by our experienced team. Your trip can include attending La Liga and Portuguese Primeira Liga games, matches against local teams, pro training sessions, and even tournaments. As true experts in Spain and Portugal, we'll ensure you also experience the rich history, vibrant culture, and incredible food these countries are famous for. Celebrating 40 years of crafting unforgettable journeys to Spain and Portugal. Petrobax, your team, your passion, your trip to Spain and Portugal starts here.
My name is Austin Brummett. I'm a men's soccer player at San Diego State University, and I play forward. The Salt Air Case helps block odor from my cleats when I'm driving in my car or when I'm keeping my cleats inside my house, so I don't have to worry about it stinking up my room. It helps me keep track of my cleats and my shin guards, so I know that they're together, and I don't have to worry about tracking them down or losing them or stressing out about where they are. I would definitely rock this, walking to the games, walking around to my trainings. And it's super helpful for travel. When I travel in the airport to go to away games, it's not going to stink up my backpack or stink up the plane where I'm sitting. Magnetic strip on the top is super easy to open to take my cleats out and to put my cleats back in. I think it's an essential part of my outfit for soccer, and it helps keep all my stuff organized and stink-free.
Hello guys, welcome back to Susa All-in Complex. We've just got the national anthems playing now. So it'll be Francisco Flores wearing the armband for Renegades today. I'm not sure exactly what it is for Brooklyn. We are obviously going to struggle a bit with player identification for these Brooklyn players, given they are all wearing pennies, but we'll do our absolute best. And once we have a Renegades information, should be able to give you that starting lineup as well. Everyone running a little bit behind today, so we've got information very late before kick-off. Then Zuniga will kick off the game for us here. And Zuniga kicks us off here. The UPSL national defending champions Renegades looking to continue the strong start they've made to this campaign. 2 wins already, including beating AFC Academy, who were very troublesome for them last year. Beat them twice. It's very few teams that get away with that. Tonight will be a game Renegades certainly would expect on paper to win comfortably, but there is plenty of quality in this young Brooklyn side. They are in a difficult spell overall historically of UPSL games. I think it's 7 on the trot they've lost, but they did start the beginning of fall very strongly, got 7 points. It was just after the opening stage of the season where the results turned south. Here's Solano, who's going to be starting at centre back for Renegades. It's a very familiar back line. Very familiar 11, in fact. Caceres alongside Solano. Christian Garcia on the left flank. JC Perez in goal. Milton Campos, the number 6. Carrel and Rivas in front of him. The left wing, Sebastian Ruiz, who's coming into tonight with 4 goals in his last 2 games. On the left flank, Dylan Woods playing in a more advanced position than often we see him And leading the line, the also prolific Junior Rosero, who's on 3 goals out of 2 games so far this season. So actually, interestingly enough, well, not very surprisingly, all of Renegades' goals thus far this season have come from Junior Rosero and Ruiz. Zuniga looking to touch it down. Milton Campos winning that physical battle. Carriel. And there's a first chance for Sebastian Ruiz to test the legs of Harding. Cuts inside. Ruiz still with it. Sebastian Ruiz flashes it past the near post. Pereira probably had it covered. Played into Garces. Actually, excuse me, it looks like actually it's Ibrahim Yusunov who's on that flank. And that's an interesting ball to Zuniga. Opportunity set up decently for him there. Didn't quite catch it as he would have liked. One back in the middle, but referee judging unfairly by Brooklyn. And just getting the bearing with my bearings with the Brooklyn FC starting 11. So we're going to have Brian Pereira in goal. In front of him, David Adus and John Garces. Harding at right back. And Richard Owol at left back. Yaya and Bolaños, the number 6s. Marcial Viveros in the number 10, Ibrahim Yusufov, who scored in the previous meeting between these sides in October. He'll be on the left wing. Oscar Garces on the right wing, and Dylan Zuniga in the centre forward position. So both teams playing the 4-3-3s. I do apologise, terrible handwriting. I miswrote Richard's name. It's Richard Ewer, who's the left back for Brooklyn. So that's brought down well by Samuel Caceres. Actually, do excuse me, I think it's actually Leo Foller who's starting in centre back. As here comes Dylan Woods looking to send it across to Junior Rosero. Cut out. Woods was thinking about letting it run out and then very cannily cut back inside. It's Matthew Carriel, the Tinkerman in the midfield. Milton Campos, he can hit them. That was one of his tamer efforts. Simple enough for Pereira. So a more recent signing, Leo Foller. And here's Solano. Plenty of defensive depth in this Renegade squad, and almost all the defensive players returning from a fall, and it was the defence that in large part won Renegades the national championship. They conceded just 0.8 goals per game, kept 8 clean sheets in 18, including 2 clean sheets in the national finals, so that's the national semi-finals and final. Not something they were always historically known for, Renegades. It's always been their glittering attacking play that's made them stand out, but they had certainly some functional wins in full where they had to dig very, very deep, and maybe they weren't at their most fluid, but they were at their most dogged. And that perhaps was the difference between them last season and the other previous attempts that fell short to win the national title. Milton Campos. Bolaños. Raking ball towards Ruiz. It's a good one. I thought for a second just slightly too far, even for the pacey Colombian. Campos wins the first header. Popped up by Carriel. How's your touch? Very good. Dylan Woods bringing it down. Junior Rosero gives it to the overlapping Flores. Lots of black shirts to aim for. Flores pops it up. And it was really awkward for Harding. Wasn't sure exactly who was behind him and probably did the right thing there just to pop it out for the first corner kick of the evening. Sebastian Ruiz will send this ball in. Floats it towards the penalty spot. Solano Rose bouncing around, hacked clear by Bolaños. Garcia, one of the goal scorers in their national final, skipping down the touchline, looping cross towards the far post. Too much on it. Goes out for a goal kick. Commanding header by Flores, helped on by Dylan Woods. Popped back forwards by Yaya. Sent down the line. That's a clever ball by Harding and sent back inside. Fuller aware to it. It looks like the left back's also the other way around to Ashton too. So we've actually got Harding is at left back and Iwa at right back. Harding tossed it down the line. Oscar Rivas, veteran of this Renegade squad. Played up by Yaya. Yusufov got himself half a yard. The shot was blocked. Yaya. Played inside by Yusufov. Suniga pulling out wide. Lanyos policing the situation. Thrown in quickly by Suniga. Referee giving it the foul throw. Just in the raised foot. But I think Brooklyn will not be too displeased from the start they've made. Winning a fair number of the 50-50, showing some good composure and possession. Bolaños. Ades driving it forwards, headed by Garcia, sent back in, and it's Zuniga onside, and he's totally choked. A golden opportunity. Don't think he could quite believe how much time he had in there. No one could. The flag stayed down and he just lost his focus. And quite remarkably touched it into a grateful Perez's arms. Not sure if Brooklyn will get a better chance all evening. But they are continuing to test their hosts early on here, Brooklyn. Here's Iwa. Suniga. Couldn't hit the target.
No te preocupes, Esteban, vamos. Ya llegaron, ya llegaron.
Sent forward to Junior Rosero. Rosero with a lower goal tally last season by his very high standards, but I think that had a lot to do with the defences of this division really improving, some stronger opposition coming in, and also everyone being on very high alert for Rosero's threat. Teams used to make the mistake of letting him turn 30 to 40 yards out and giving him time, and he would immediately punish them. Driven in by Garces. It's another chance of Viveros, and then the rebound blocked by Perez, but Brooklyn had Renegades a little bit on the ropes there early on at Sousa. Shufov overrunning it. Garcia sends it forward to Sebastian Ruiz. Colombian is going to look to test Brooklyn on the counter-attack here. Garcia heavy with his touch. And Brooklyn will drive right back the way they came, but that wasn't the right pass by Yaya. But Junior Rosero, as I was saying, had a bit of a lower goal tally last season, but he scored at really key moments in the season. Scored against Braveheart in the playoffs, which Renegades would go on to win. Scored against Empire in the playoffs in that inconceivable 9-man win for Renegades. Scored the winner against Lansdowne in the Open Cup, the winner against the Greeks in the Open Cup, got a hat-trick against Chicago Fire in the national quarterfinals. Time and time again on the big stage he proved himself. Here's Oscar Rivas, took a deflection, and Pereira won't be able to prevent that from going out for another corner. The offside flag going up. I think judging that Rosero was interfering with play in an offside position. Yaya around the corner. Bolaños driving through the middle. Viveros. Oscar Garces. That's a decent looking ball. Partially cleared, it's going to come back to Harding. Yaya. Garces. He went on the overlap. Garces instead goes inside towards Zuniga, cleared out by Foller. Junior Rosero sets it down to Ruiz, and the Colombians are off. It's a 2-on-2 for now. Junior Rosero really well stood up by Yaya, tracking back there. Ambitious switch ball towards Garces. But dare I say, this first 15 or so minutes, I'd say Brooklyn has just about been the better side so far. Having more possession, certainly. Last 3 meetings between these sides have all been defeats. I think every meeting has been. UPSL records don't go back online further than that. When they met in October, it was a 4-1 victory for Renegades. They pulled away in the second half of the last 30 minutes. But about a year ago, when they met, it came down to a 91st minute goal by Flores to win it for Renegades. Looking like it might be a close one this evening as well. Decent give and go between Ruiz and Flores, but well anticipated by Harding. Pereira will just clear the lines. Solano. Fuller. Carry out. Space here for Garcia. Chops inside. Good covering by John Garces. And driven up to Zuniga. Touches it to Bolaños. Not a good touch though. Francisco Flores. Woods. Oscar Rivas heading off the attentions of Zuniga. Guys, tonight's broadcast sponsored by Umbro. You can head to umbroteam.com to start designing your team kit for now. Produced by Umbro, designed and worn by you. One back there by Garcia. Junior Rosero shapes up. Let's fly. Wasn't far away at all. Think Pereira probably had that covered. But that is the constant danger of Rosero. And we've got an early change here for Brooklyn. Zuniga, who's being replaced. And I'm not sure what that's all about. Doesn't look injured, and he doesn't look very happy to have been going off either. Had that very good chance that he squandered early on, but never easy to get subbed off that early. Looks as if Viveros has gone to the centre forward position. Here is Marcel Viveros, just ran it out. Try and get a look at who came on in a second. I think it might be Eric Teneda, but we'll verify that when I can. Junior Rosero, or Milton Campos even, helps it onto Junior Rosero. He's searching for Flores, well read by Harding. And confirming it is Eric Teneda who's come on. Looks as if he's sitting in the number 6 position. Is Viveros. Bolaños looking for Harding. Rivas helping it on to Junior Rosero. He looks for Dylan Woods, touched it forwards. Rivas alone in the middle for a brief second. Wasn't found. Milton Campos, the enforcer, in the number 6, not his best pass there. Eric Teneda. Bolaños. Positive touch by him. Harding. Oscar Garces, or Yusufov even, excuse me, wriggling and turning with Solano, who hung a leg out and impeded him enough to get the free kick. Yusufov saying he would have preferred the advantage there. It looked like he might have slipped in behind. Going to be Yusufov who drives it in. Perez opted for the punch. Here's Bolaños. Heavy touch. Hammered by Carrial towards Ruiz, and Brooklyn are short of the back here. Sebastian Ruiz past one. But John Garces did just enough to stop the lightning quick Colombian. Very good defended by Garces. Solano looking for Rosero. They weren't on the same wavelength. Rosero expecting it in behind. Harding Great composure by Richard Harding. John Garces. Craig gives it to David Addis. Sent down the channel by Flores. Dylan Woods. Lots of pink shirts behind the ball. Oscar Rivas. Fuller. I can see Boris Linares in the far touchline now. He was told he's watching his son play soccer game low earlier. That was an awkward ball for Uwa, who did well with that. Just to knock out behind for a corner. Ruiz was waiting on his shoulder. Ruiz swings it in. Punched by Pere under a lot of pressure by Oscar Rivas. Harding will complete the clearance. Carriel's got to watch this one closely. And Oscar Garces bearing down on him. Sebastian Ruiz. Garcia. And Junior Rosero couldn't quite keep it down. It was a high bounce. Not the easiest technically to pull off, but definitely a chance for Renegades talisman. Oscar Garces dwelt on it too long, may be punished. Oscar Rivas, Rosero onto his left foot. Good block by Yaya. Campos. Ruiz selling the dummy. Switches it to Rosero. Flores. Back into the mix, they're headed. And I think that's come off the post. Oscar Rivas. A fraction away from the opener. Beautifully cultured ball by Flores, and Rivas had the space there. Really should have finished. Free header from 8 yards out. But the momentum has swung towards Renegades these last 5 or so minutes after a very positive start by Brooklyn. Campos. Wood sets it to Carriel. Dinks into the pass of Flores. And Flores will earn what I believe is now Renegade's 5th corner kick of the evening. Carriel will send this ball in. Everyone back for Brooklyn. Went over the entire pack. It will come to Junior Rosero at the far post. Woods, space for Carriel to send in another delivery. Also over hit and worse with the angle. Goes straight out for a goal kick. Well guys, we're going to have much more UPSL action tomorrow. Philadelphia Lone Star hosts New Jersey Alliance. That should be a cracking fixture. 4:30 p.m. from the American South Conference. We'll also have UCFSC versus SFC from the UPSL American South Conference at 7:30, and Osners in Renegades and Brooklyn's division are going to host Red Hook. That'll be a 7:30 p.m. kickoff live from Calvert Vaux. All that exclusively on Game and Frame and on our YouTube channel. It's our biggest season of UPSL action yet, working with 8 clubs this season. Fantastic to see the level continue to rise, the division to continue to grow. And what really puts into perspective the challenge of the American North Division is Renegades, the national champions, finished 3rd last season. Got to compete with the likes of Braveheart, Empire, Osners. Renegades will certainly view tonight as a must-win, but they've got some very tricky fixtures later on. Here comes Rivas galloping forwards. He salvages possession. Garces got a little foot, but listen to this for 4 fixtures in a row for Renegades. Once they hit May 9th, they have Empire away, which will be here. So technically home, because they share the same home field. Then they host Osners, and then they visit Braveheart, and then they host Braveheart. So that is going to be a really make or break period. Hard to predict where those scorelines will go and how many points everyone will get. Top 2 from the regular league standings will go to the American North semis. Let's just hang on a second. Here comes Bolaños, heavy with his touch at the key moment, and then that was a clumsy tackle on the back of Solano. So the top 2 from the American North will go to the semis, and then 3rd to 6th will play in the quarters. So Renegades had to go through the full playoff process, 8 playoffs in a row, to win the Nationals. It was a remarkable run, and they had 3 Open Cup games sprinkled in there as well, which they all won. Here's Junior Rosero, returns it back inside. It's going to come to Sebastian Ruiz, saved by Pereira, rebound falls, and it's tucked in by Matthew Carriel. Cool as you like, picked his moment and scores first blood for the national champions. The goal did feel like it was coming these past 10 or so minutes. Right before the half-hour mark, Carriel, who doesn't score often for Renegades, finds the opener, took it very well. And that should settle Renegades right down, and now it's 6 goals they scored in the first half in their first 3 games. Strong starters for sure. Campos. Oscar Rivas. You know, I have to watch that back. It may have actually been Dylan Woods who finished that. I'll watch that back in a few minutes. That's sent along to Sebastian Ruiz. Nope, it was Carriel with the finish. Pineda. So there's a little nudge in the back of Milton Campos. Solano, excuse me, Junior Rosero Can he touch? Carriel didn't get the angles on his pass right. He'll get it again though. Flores sends it in with a lot of pace. Good clearance by Garces. It comes to Junior Rosero, who ended up skewing it well wide of the post.
Let's go! Come on, boys!
I feel like this is an important 13 or so minutes for Brooklyn before the half-time whistle to not concede again. Once it gets to 2, it's very, very hard to catch this Renegade side. Here's Sebastian Ruiz cutting inside. Flores. Whips it across in the direction of Ruiz. There was appeals for a handball there. This is Adus. And the referee, I guess, judging it accidental, not bring out a card. This is prime shooting position for Renegades, about 25 yards out. They've got a committee over the ball. Take your pick of who could take this. Plenty of very well equipped set piece takers. It's Ruiz, Rivas, Rosero and Campos who are still in the mix. Pereira has 5 in his wall. Let's see if that's enough. Sebastian Ruiz took a deflection, well did the job. Carriel drives it in. Commanding header. Comes on the edge. What a hit! Oh, that's absolutely superb. Milton Campos. Arrows it in. It sat up kindly, but he still had so much left to do, and he grabbed the opportunity with both hands. Renegades with the cushion as we approach the half-time whistle. Milton Campos will not hit a ball sweeter than that. Both the centre midfielders getting in on the action. And Brooklyn, for all the positivity they showed the first 20 or so minutes, now trail by 2 goals. They ran out of steam and Renegades began to squeeze their guess, and they have 2 goals to show for it. Teneda. Lovely interchange. He gets it back here, Eric Teneda. Yusufov. Touch forced him backwards, but he gets it to Garces. Lovely skill by Garces. Corner kick. Looks like Yusufov who's going to send in the corner. Comes to Eric Teneda. Harding, not sure he's the intended recipient. Garcia will find Junior Rosero. There's an overload on the far side. If Rosero can switch it, which he can, it's Sebastian Ruiz. He's got Carriel with him. Rosero's one is right. Sebastian Ruiz may not need them. What a tackle by Garces. And it's a wasted opportunity for Renegades, who had the overload. Just wonder if Carriel might have been better going on Ruiz's left side, because he already had Rosero on the right, but just gave one less option for Garces to worry about. So he tried to marshal a very difficult situation. He's defended very well so far, John Garces. Ruiz back into the 18-yard box. Hat clear by Garces. Rivas. Ruiz. Still Sebastian Ruiz. Junior Rosero, ball's behind him and he lost his footing as he tried to adjust. Yusufov. And he's going to earn a free kick and some respite for the currently quite beleaguered Brooklyn. Could just do with a bit of sustained possession, the visitors, as they had a fair bit of early on. Harding. Teneda. Yusufov. Solano cutting out. That's a really good tackle. Yusufov to win it back. Bolaños. Oscar Garces. Jinking hips. And he kept that for an extraordinary long period of time. Even when he's on the ground, and ended up being fouled, and it's going to be a free kick for Brooklyn right on the corner of the penalty area. As we tick into the final moments of this half. Now would be a decent time for Brooklyn to pull one back. Certainly change the mood of the dressing room. Yusufov and Bolaños are both over this. And Yusufov has put that one into orbit. I don't think any of his awaiting teammates in the 18-yard box will thank him for that. Sebastian Ruiz behind Carriel. Bolaños. Look at the work rate from Ruiz, but Bolaños has held him off. Yusufov sandwiched between two black shirts. Garces. Yusufov. Follow reading the danger. And Garcia trying to buy himself a free kick. Did look a tad dramatic, his topple over, and the linesman, who was very well positioned, not buying it. And Brooklyn will get quite a cheap corner. Driven in flat, and that will float easily into the hands of JC Pereira. Garcia. Solano. Fuller. Pereira. Junior Rosero didn't connect with the flick. Got a bit of a fog emerging here at Sousa. There's Yaya. Taneda. The referee tried to play the advantage for Brooklyn. Wasn't there.
That's a call, ref.
We have another change being made for Brooklyn. And it looks like it's Viveros who's being replaced. Not sure if that was injury force that time, but 2 subs by Brooklyn in this first half.
Race on, coach. Race on.
We'll get out. We'll have a look shortly about who has come on. And it's not quite there with it, that pass. Carriel. Junior Rosero. Dylan Woods. Carriel inviting Ruiz forward. He hooks it back into the mixer. Popped up by Taneda, but not really away. Headed back down by Ruiz, or Rivas, excuse me. Brooklyn survive and Garces will bring it clear. Yusufov helping it around the corner and the flag going up against Garces. I'm not sure exactly what's happened there, but Renegades have conceded a free kick. And, another good position for Brooklyn. Ibrahim Yusufov standing over it, and this is a pretty promising shooting position. 5 in Perez's wall. Yusufov bends it, and it had to be tipped over by Perez. That was dipping under the crossbar. Yusufov testing Woods.
Release the ball.
Woods doing very well there. And the sub who's come on for Brooklyn is Adam Ahmed in the number 91 jersey. And that's the end of the first half. Brooklyn made a very positive start. The first 20 minutes probably had the better of the play, but the defending UPSL national champions began to impose their will in the game and punish the visitors twice in quick succession. Carriel on the half-hour mark, followed up by a brilliant Melton Campos strike on the volley. Brooklyn have a very stern task ahead of them to even get a point out of this. And they're facing a team that has 4 clean sheets in their last 4 UPSL games. But they've shown signs of life here, Brooklyn, and they have at times threatened Renegades. Contest not done and dusted. But guys, for now, it's my absolute pleasure to present to you our March Save of the Month nominees.
It was centre midfielder. The shot is immaculate save by Nikčević. Unbelievable athleticism.
On his left foot, gets it back to his right, lays it off. Here's the hit, blocked in front. Second time asking Goransky makes 2 saves on the bounce. I think one came off his head. A third save from Goransky. The fourth is offside. The fourth is offside. Goransky, my goodness. What a run of play from the VE goalkeeper. That was incredible.
Whips it in towards Teodorescu. Looks like he might come off a hand. Comes to Teodorescu again. Sublime save by Dimopoulos. That was creeping its way into the near post, and Dimopoulos with an acrobatic save.
Before once again lifting it up for Turnbull. It lands for Chetty. Almost found the back of the net. Right above the crossbar it went.
Wide open player, possible shot incoming, does get a shot, and a great save from Louis from West Town again. Corner kick has been awarded, but a brilliant shot and a great save again from the West Town goalkeeper.
Tapos finding Pradera. The West, who puts it on target, but a massive save onto the bar. A heroic save.
Cross Lorenz cross. Ooh, what a save!
From soccer fields across the USA to the legendary stadiums of Spain and Portugal, for 40 years, Petrobax has been the go-to expert for group travel to Spain and Portugal. We organize soccer group trips from start to finish, flights, hotels, transportation, and guided tours, all perfectly coordinated by our experienced team. Your trip can include attending La Liga and Portuguese Primeira Liga games, matches against local teams, pro training sessions, and even tournaments. As true experts in Spain and Portugal, we'll ensure you also experience the rich history, vibrant culture, and incredible food these countries are famous for. Celebrating 40 years of crafting unforgettable journeys to Spain and Portugal. Petrobax, your team, your passion, your trip to Spain and Portugal starts here.
My name is Austin Brummett. I'm a men's soccer player at San Diego State University, and I play forward. The Salt Air Case helps block odor from my cleats when I'm driving in my car or when I'm keeping my cleats inside my house, so I don't have to worry about it stinking up my room. It helps me keep track of my cleats and my shin guards, so I know that they're together, and I don't have to worry about tracking them down or losing them or stressing out about where they are. I would definitely rock this, walking to the games, walking around to my trainings. And it's super helpful for travel. When I travel in the airport to go to away games, it's not going to stink up my backpack or stink up the plane where I'm sitting. Magnetic strip on the top is super easy to open to take my cleats out and to put my cleats back in. I think it's an essential part of my outfit for soccer, and it helps keep all my stuff organized and stink-free.
A quality highlight reel is crucial for college and pro recruitment. A lot of services offer generic solutions, but at Game & Frame we know every player is unique and needs a personalised approach to win over coaches. Our process is simple. We work with any footage, and if you need help finding your best plays, we'll review games for you. Once we've finished, you'll have a reel you can upload to any recruitment platform. we've helped hundreds of players get the attention they deserve, including placements in Division 1 programs. Scan the QR code or email us for a free consultation and start the journey to maximize your recruitment potential. Hello everyone, welcome back to Sousa All-In and Complex. Renegades with the 2-goal lead. The midfielders Carriel and Campos with the goals. Not the usual sources of goals, and particularly not this season. The first 2 games, all Ruiz and Rosero the goals, all 7 of them, but finally that streak has been broken. Looks as if both teams are unchanged from half-time. Actually, perhaps just one change for Brooklyn. We'll try and get a look at who it is on the far side, the left wing. Momentarily again, Brooklyn in the pennies tonight. Both teams showed up with black jerseys, so a little tricky to ID some of these Brooklyn players. Off for this second half. Renegades in control, but not over the line yet. Brooklyn certainly had their moments of threat. Here's Sebastian Ruiz into Junior Rosero. That was the chance to put the game to bed inside 10 seconds of this half. It's a beautiful first touch by Rosero. He's fired at him, but the finish just slightly sliced. John Garces clearing it, made some excellent tackles in that first half. Garces, Ahmed. Dylan Woods, Rosero, partially cleared by Ahmed. Oscar Rivas. That pass behind Flores. So it's Jason Udu who's come on the left wing for Brooklyn. A lot of positional adjustment, particularly amongst the front line for Brooklyn already. Oscar Rivas. Clever spin out of pressure by Francisco Flores. Sent down the channel by Flores, touched on to Dylan Woods, who scampers forwards. Carriel with him and Ruiz on his left. Here is Sebastian Ruiz. Finds Carriel. Sets it back to Milton Campos, who's going to unwind again into the back of Adus. And here comes Jason Udo. Garces. Udo, lovely touch inside, slightly too high. And Yusuf of Oscar Rivas, low drill. Couple of feet wide, but Pereira wasn't 100% sure and he lost his footing. I think that would have snuck in. It was on target. So the man who I believe was replaced at half-time was Yaya. And Ahmed is now the centre forwards for Brooklyn. With Yusufov and Taneda behind him. Milton Campos winning the header. Carriel searching for Ruiz, who's in behind. Sebastian Ruiz. Well, stopped by Pereira, who didn't commit too early. Angle did become diminishingly small for Ruiz. Excuse me, I think actually Yaya still on the field. We'll just try and get our bearings here. No, it looks like it was. Yeah, he made way. Garcia finds carry out. It's been a good start to the half by Renegades. Purposeful start. Sebastian Ruiz. Cross too close to Perea. Loose pass by Garces. Milton Campos has got some space. He finds Junior Rosero. And he finds carry out. Couldn't return it to Rosero. Just starting to get a very, very thin layer of rain here at Sousa. There's Udo. Delayed too long, and Solano will drive forwards. Sebastian Ruiz. Teasing his man, Sebastian Ruiz towards the far post. Junior Rosero is going to practically walk it in for Renegades' third of the evening and Rosero's fourth of the season. Sebastian Ruiz he were on ice, and Rosero with the outrageous first touch over the head of Perea. They just headed it into the empty net, and surely no way back now for Brooklyn against the UPSL national champions. They started with lots of intent, Renegades, in the second half to just put the game to bed, and they have in all likelihood done exactly that. Ahmed is going to invite Jason Udu to surge forwards. He's too strong for his defender, and it took a wicked deflection in. I think it was the centre-back, Folat, who nearly inadvertently directed it into his own goal. Corner kick for Brooklyn. Ahmed swings it in. That's going to go straight out. Flores. Milton Campos turning Teneda inside out. Couldn't find the feet of carry out. Looks as if Renegades going to make it 3-3 at the start of this season. Possible that they will have 3 out of 3 clean sheets as well. It's a formidable start by the defending champions, who actually did not have the strongest of regular seasons in full. I'll get to that in a second. Let's just see how this attack emerges. Flores. Rosero forced back. Solano. Folat. Sebastian Ruiz, who's seen a lot of the ball tonight. Too much from a Brooklyn perspective. It's returned back to Sebastian Ruiz. Good covering by Garces. last season actually Renegades worse in the regular season. They had just a 60% win percentage compared to 79 across all their other UPSL seasons. And it was the first time in 5 seasons that they didn't finish top of the American North Conference. But I think Boris Linares was very calculated with this approach. Even when the team was out of form at times, he knew that it was all about the end game. It was about the playoff season. They just had to make the playoffs. And whereas previous seasons they perhaps peaked too early and then faltered in the go home or win fixtures of the playoffs, as this time they saved their best until that key period where they're absolutely flawless in the playoffs. Full of emphatic, impressive victories, full of clean sheets. Plenty of time for Renegades to add to their tally tonight now as well. Ball's given short. Garcia drilled in with lots of pace and somehow no one got a touch and it travelled all the way across the 18-yard box. A good touch by Udu. He's looking for Yusufov. Look at that, for a bit of covering by Milton Campos. Might have overran it though. Bolaños trading blows with him. And referee judging Bolaños won it fairly. Yusufov will be found this time. Pass is driven a little bit wide. Oscar Garces is with him. It's sent across the 6-yard box. And Brooklyn have a goal back. Ahmed with the finish. And perhaps just a ray of hope for Brooklyn. It's the first goal Renegades have conceded this season. Milton Campos, who put in a brilliant tackle initially to stop the attack, then held on to it too long and Bolaños wrestled him off of it. Yusufov with a teasing cross. And Ahmed just had to put his foot through it. Sebastian Ruiz. Francisco Flores. I think probably some question marks as well from a Renegades perspective, that they just took too long to get bodies behind the ball on that counter attack. Ruiz. So we do see, after almost 240 minutes of action this season, a chink in the defending champions' armour with the first goal that they've conceded. Woods, what a ball! Sebastian Ruiz! Well, that dent in the armour has been hammered back into shape very quickly. A peach of a cross. Superbly finished by Sebastian Ruiz. And Ruiz is now on 5 in 3 matches. Just an exquisite, flat driven in cross. And Ruiz with the perfect redirection into the far post. And Brooklyn's revival very short-lived. Here's Ahmed, Brooklyn's goal scorer, looking to force his way through. He's still got it here, Ahmed. Udu. He's gone down and Brooklyn have a penalty. What a remarkable 3 minutes of football here. We've had 2 goals and now we've got a penalty. It's almost a basketball game at the moment. Udo with the dancing feet. He dangled out the invitation for contact, which was taken. I'm not sure how much contact. Udo went down as if he'd been poleaxed. But they all count the same, and he will now have the chance to return it back to a 2-goal margin. Sends Perez the wrong way, and it's 4-2. And you can see and hear what Perez thinks about that. 2 goals in very quick succession that he's conceded, with an intermission from Ruiz. And Brooklyn back in with a thin but fighting chance with this 2-goal margin. Renegades perhaps just switching off a bit defensively once they got that third. I don't think Boris Linares will be particularly pleased with the manner of those 2 goals. Sent forwards towards Garcia. Oh, it's just a little bit too much of him. Driven down the channel to Oscar Garces. Stopped by Foller, who won the free kick too. And guys, a reminder, today's broadcast is sponsored by Umbro. You can head to umbroteam.com to start designing your team kit for free now. Produced by Umbro, designed and worn by you. Got another change being made for Brooklyn. It's Oscar Garces who's been replaced. And yet another shuffle position. It looks like Ahmed has gone to the right flank, and a newcomer at centre forward. Is in the centre forward's position. That's a clever ball. Dylan Woods will get the corner kick. Ball driven in flat, header at the near post, and it's scrambled just past the post. I think it was Francesco Flores with the last touch there. Well, a shot, at least from Renegade's perspective, came off of a body somewhere in there. I couldn't see in all that crowd who it was who diverted around the post. Ahmed. That's a clever touch, and Jason Udo is going to open up the gas burners. But Garcia covering. Looks like Amara Sibi. And for Brooklyn, just trying to get a final look at that number through the penny. Down the channel. That's a clumsy tackle, gets Udo. So it's actually David Akpan who's come on for Brooklyn. Clumsy tackle there on Jason Udo. Brooklyn a little unimpressed. A yellow wasn't drawn out there. Usually Fov loops it towards the far post, that's going to go over everyone. Well, we entered the second half with Renegades 2 ahead at 2-0, and twice they've extended the margin to 3, and twice Brooklyn have brought it back to 2, and they've won it back here. Bolaños, very sloppy from Renegades. Bolaños cuts it back, took the slice of touches from Foller, which ended up being key. It bamboozled Akpan, who was waiting to apply the finish. Here comes Sebastian Ruiz down the other end. Ruiz, well dealt with by Jean Garces. Corner kick. Linares is preparing his first change. Christian Garcia is making way. And if my eyes don't deceive me, it's Angelo Quintanilla who is going to be introduced. Ruiz, headed out by Brooklyn. Rosero around the corner. Brooklyn able to escape the pressure again. So it looks like Angelo Quintanilla has gone into the right wing position. And Dylan Woods has switched across to left back. Here's Sebastian Ruiz. Dylan Woods. It comes back to Sebastian Ruiz. What a hit! The Colombian is at the top of his game. And he smashes it in. No man in a black shirt deserves a brace more than him. He has been running the left flank all night tirelessly. The architect of mischief. And he capped off the attack. He spurred forwards with a fantastic hit. And we get our fourth goal in the space of about 10 minutes. Breathless 10 minutes. So Ruiz now on 6 goals in the first 3 games of the UPSL campaign. He's going to reach double figures at this rate before the halfway point in the season, in regular season. Campos gives it to Quintanilla. Reverse ball. Flores went a little early. Boris Linares is going to make another change here. Milton Campos making way. And it's his brother, Kilmore Campos, replacing him. Fola. Don't know words. And that goal that we've just seen from Ruiz now takes Renegades to 12 goals in their first 3. Sebastian Ruiz still got lots of running in the legs. Ruiz still with it. And it looks perhaps as if the Brooklyn legs are beginning to tire, and Ruiz is getting more and more opportunities to turn and drive at the beleaguered Iwa. Carriel floats it towards Quintanilla, or Flores even, excuse me. It's intercepted and hacked over the fence. And guys, let me remind you, we've got a lot more UPSL action coming up tomorrow. Philadelphia Lone Star against New Jersey Alliance in the UPSL American South Conference at 4:30 p.m. Then UCFSC against SFC at 7:30 p.m. Also in the UPSL American South Conference, we'll have more American North action at 7:30 as well between Osners and Red Hook. Osners with a much strengthened squad this season. They put in an impressive showing in their opener against Brooklyn. And they've won both their opening games like Renegades. Not the right pass by Kilmar Campos. Ahmed. Fola. Solano. Oscar Rivas. That 5th may have finally knocked the stuffing out of spirited Brooklyn, and fought back a few times tonight. Flores has gone down inside the area. I thought it was inside the area. Referee, I think, is going to give this as a free kick. And he's going to whip out a yellow card as well. I think Harding was the offender. Junior Rosero is waiting patiently in this penalty area, and Brooklyn have left him perilously alone. Bolaños now just sensing the danger, but he's got 2 with him. Some organising to do for Brooklyn in the back. Ruiz is going to float that one in. Solano went for the acrobatic, and then it was fired at the far post by Ruiz. It was actually Quintanilla, excuse me, who took that free kick. Ruiz. Fola. Carriel. Flores towards Junior Rosero, headed out by John Garces. Bolaños. That's a naughty tackle by Oscar Rivas, who made a very futile argument that he got the ball. Definitely came in through the back of Bolaños. Campos finds Carriel. He's got Ruiz on a hat-trick on his left. It's Sebastian Ruiz, cuts onto his right, very softly sets up, gets it back on the rebound. And that might have been the first thing he's done wrong tonight. And that was his chance for a hat-trick, head in his hands. Just snatched at the chance. You do just wonder with the scoreline what it is, how much longer Barcelona will keep Ruiz out, may opt to save his legs for the game next weekend, which is going to be a visit north of the city to Kamandi. Sebastian Ruiz has so much space. Ruiz looking to find that far post from the narrow angle. We've seen him score from there before. Ewart looks like he's just about dead in his feet, and I could certainly sympathise. I think anyone trying to keep pace with Ruiz for 70 odd minutes would be feeling a little lower on the oxygen. Ahmed with an adventurous run forwards. It's going to come to Akpan. He'll let it run out. Double change coming for Renegades. Carry out, who started this goal fest, will be our first man off. And Junior Rosero also replaced. Lovlik, who came on a second. Here comes the corner kick. Free header for Akpan, who's a long way out. Going to be very hard to generate the power to really test Perez. Driven towards Barrio Nuevo. Joined Renegades squad last season. Got a goal in the playoffs. And so coming together there. I think this might be one of Renegade's subs who is down in a heap, who literally just came on. I think it may be Samuel Caceres, who's down. This does not look good at all. It's actually Dylan Woods who went into that tackle, and that will certainly be of some significant concern for Boris Linares. It's a very important part of this Renegade side. Brooklyn are going to sportingly give it back. So our other sub who came on was Nicholas Reynoso, who Renegades poached from Empire over the winter. Very useful player to be able to bring on. A little over 10 minutes remaining. Things are getting a little choppy now on the field. Brooklyn are going to make what I believe will be their final change. Yusufov replaced. And it's Amara Sibi who's come on. Perez almost got caught underneath that cross there. Sebastian Ruiz. He's left Ewart for dead, but his touch was too heavy, and John Garces recovering, and Ruiz perhaps just feeling the effects there of the non-stop galloping up and down the touchline he's done. Mind you, as soon as he got back to his feet, demanded the ball. Rivas, sharp turn. Reynoso, or Quintanilla even, leant back well over the crossbar. More changes for Renegades. And just allow us a second to get our bearings with who's come on and who hasn't. Ahmed looking to touch it down to Bolaños. That's going to be a foul. Johans Alexander, who's just been introduced, made his presence known immediately. Bolaños comes towards that far post, and Perez cutting out before it could reach Akpan. Perez hammering it forwards. Sibi watching. It's Mauricio Quintanilla who's come onto the left flank for Renegades. Dylan Woods is going to limp off gingerly, but looks as if probably not too worse for wear. Javon Wag entering the fray. Still haven't seen Samuel Caceres, who was on the bench tonight, but no, he's recovering from, I believe it was a hamstring injury that kept him out of the Open Cup tie as well against Westchester Soccer Club. Floated over the top towards Udu. Regains his balance. Ahmed takes it off him, and super tackle by the newcomer. Wag to deny him. Or actually, that was Flores with the recovery. Whipped in, that's a decent looking ball. Taneda got under it. Reynoso conceding a free kick. I have to say that looked very, very soft to me. And he gets a booking too, not sure what exactly it was the referee saw there. Maybe it was a slight tug of the hand. Couldn't see it from this angle. Bolaños will bend this in. It's a good ball, and a couple of players going down. And Akpan judging to have been an offender. Not quite the pass Perez was intending. Looked like an interesting interpretation of a throw in there. Didn't go that far behind the head, but referee laying it flight. Akpan to Bolaños. Brooklyn certainly can take plenty of positives from this evening. They've come here to play. They showed some good quality in possession, and first team to score not once but twice against Renegades in quite some time in the UPSL. Although they are going to be beaten, they did draw a nick of blood from the reigning champions. One back in the middle by Teneda. Not a great ball in by Udo. Campos and Mauricio Quintanilla with the interchange. And Quintanilla clearing. Angelo Quintanilla winning it back. Ball turned over, Reynoso pickpocketed. Bolaños. Holds off Johans Alexander, who made sure to leave a couple of kicks in behind in the afters. Bolaños lost his footing right as he went for the cross. Very unfortunate that. So our table going into tonight, at least the top two will be Renegades on 9 points, Austiners on 6. They'll have a chance to respond tomorrow. And they host Red Hook, which could be an interesting contest. Red Hook, relative newcomers to the division. I believe this will be their third season. They've got stronger each season. Mauricio Quintanilla. Going to find the feet of Barrio Nuevo, who was searching for it in behind. Barrio Nuevo hauled over by Sibi. Mauricio Quintanilla. Alexander. Wasn't the right ball. There for Reynoso. Bit of fortune there for Garces. Solano. Hospital ball to Fuller with Ahmed on his shoulder and Fuller holding him off well. Wag, the big man's got some skills too. Alexander. Reynoso. Quintanilla flicks it deftly over the top, not deftly enough for Barrio Nuevo. Game certainly lost some of its quality and flow the last 5 or so minutes. Once that fifth one went in, I think both teams knowing the result beyond doubt. Solano. He finds Quintanilla. And he finds Flores. And Flores searching inside for Barry Nuevo. Cut out before it could reach him. Yeah, entering stoppage time. Don't imagine the referee will play a whole lot. Not much purpose to. Sean Garces. Pineda. Looking down the channel. Hoodoo. Perez off his line and taking no chances. Mauricio Quintanilla. Barry Nuevos, lovely give and go between those two. Good recovery by Ewa. He's got cramp. Again, that's what defending Sebastian Ruiz for 80 minutes will do. Well, and that is the full-time whistle. It's 3-3 for the reigning UPSL national champions. Brooklyn made things interesting at times, and they are the first team to score against Renegades in the UPSL in 2026. Some good goals to look back on. Entertaining match of football. Renegades get the job done and they move 3 points clear of Osners at the top on 9 points. Osners with a chance to respond tomorrow evening against Red Hook, which we will have back here on Game of Frame. Well guys, don't go anywhere. We will be back shortly with some post-match reaction from Renegades.
It was centre midfielder. The shot is immaculate save by Nikcevic. Unbelievable athleticism.
On his left foot, gets it back to his right, lays it off. Here's the hit, blocked in front. Second time passing, Goransky makes 2 saves on the bounce. I think one came off his head. A third save from Goransky. The fourth is offside. The fourth is offside. Goransky, my goodness. What a run of play from the VE goalkeeper. That was incredible.
Whips it in towards Teodorescu. Looks like it might come off a hand. Comes to Teodorescu again. Sublime save by Dimopoulos. That was creeping its way into the near post, and Dimopoulos with an acrobatic save.
Before once again lifting it up for Turnbull. It lands for Chetty. Almost found the back of the net. Right above the crossbar it went.
Wide open player. Possible shot incoming. Does get a shot, and a great save from Louis from West Town again. Corner kick has been awarded, but a brilliant shot. And a great save again from the West Town goalkeeper.
Tapos Manning Pradera. The West, who puts it on target, but a massive save onto the bar. A heroic save.
Cross Lorenz cross. Ooh! What a save!
From soccer fields across the USA to the legendary stadiums of Spain and Portugal, for 40 years, Petrobax has been the go-to expert for group travel to Spain and Portugal. We organize soccer group trips from start to finish, flights, hotels, transportation, and guided tours, all perfectly coordinated by our experienced team. Your trip can include attending La Liga and Portuguese Primeira Liga games, matches against local teams, pro training sessions, and even tournaments.
Hey guys, I'm here with Junior Rosero. Junior, third win on the bounce. Perfect start to the season.
Yeah, 3-0. 3-0 to the start of the season. It's a tribute to what we've been doing, just building off the momentum. Obviously we had a very great season last season, and we're just trying to just build off that.
How does that affect your guys' mentality? Because obviously you're the defending national champions. Everyone always has wanted to beat you guys because it's an incredible scap to gather, but particularly this year, Brooklyn, any team who comes here beats you, they've got massive bragging rights. So how does that, guys, affect your guys' mentality at all, or is it still just business as normal?
Yeah, no, listen, even more this year, this season it's going to be teams coming at our necks, coming down our throats, no matter, if it's a small team, lower table, or it's going to be second place team. We know it's going to be a tough match, and we know we got to come out and, just play our game, right? We know we got to come out the first 10 minutes and, try to knock 2-3 down, because not, it's going to be a little difficult of a game. But, we know what we have to do. We have great talent on the team, and I'm just happy with everybody. We're doing our job.
You guys have played beautiful free-flowing football. His first 3 games, 12 goals. It's a lot of returning players. Is the team chemistry just feeling at its maximum right now?
Yeah, no, I want to say, honestly, within I feel like the last 3 seasons that I've been with the team, this is probably the strongest we've been. We're just building off team chemistry, building on everyone, kind of finally gelling together. And, I'm excited for this season. Last season, obviously, we didn't have a great start or a great, ending of the regular season. But, we picked it up when we had to. And hopefully we can now just build off that and just continue to go for that ride.
Lastly, you got your 4th goal in these first 3 games. Feeling like another golden boot season potentially?
It's funny because when Sela scored the first 3, when he had a hat trick, or almost had a hat trick the first game, I actually told him, I was like, I want him to get a golden boot, because I've always been on teams where, I've won a few, but I kind of want to see him win one. So at the end of the day, I'm just happy to contribute to the team, contribute to the win, whether it be goals, assists, but I'm just happy that we're getting him in the back of the net.
I think it's going to be you and Rui's definitely competing the whole season, because he's on 6 now. Yes.
Yeah, he's on 6. He's on 6. I'm on 4. So it's going to be a friendly competition that we talk about every day. So it's good. It's good to have that.
Fantastic. Well, appreciate your time, Junior. Great watching you play. Yeah, see you again soon. I've got the head coach Boris Lenar as well. Good to see you, Boris.
How are you, man?
Yeah, how's everything? Good to see you.
I haven't seen you since the championship.
Yeah, I know. It's a lot's happened, but
yes.
a really good start to your guys' defence to the national title, isn't it?
Oh, yeah. Got sloppy. I wanted to keep a clean sheet, but, mistakes. I don't know if it was the rain or something. I don't know. It's just some mistakes we got to clean up, obviously. I'm always searching for that perfection. I know that nobody's ever perfect, but, I felt that especially the first goal was very sloppy. So, I'm going to talk to them, and, I have to keep them focused. The whole thing is keeping them focused. Obviously, we got 9 points. What we're trying to do is just build up as many points as we can. And, we know it's a long season, so I'm also got to work on the second group coming in. It's like we lose the way we're playing, and then it's just a little bit sloppy towards the end. So, but overall, I'm very happy with the starters and the way they're playing. They're playing beautiful football, and we're playing our game, which is the most important thing.
You talk about the guys who came on and a bunch of new signings in there. Obviously, the starters, it's a very familiar group. Do you feel like that's just a case of some of these new signings needing a bit more time?
Oh, definitely, yeah. The new signings need more time to gel and get with the system. But I figure that, take another 2 weeks to get them going the right way. But I'm patient, but I still definitely want them to pick it up because, playoffs come. We need everybody on deck ready to go. So that's something that we have to work on.
Last season, funny enough, with you guys winning the national title, it was a more disjointed start to the season. You lost against AFC. This time you beat AFC. You're perfect. Is it feeling like this Renegades side is reaching the next level after achieving the pinnacle really in the UPSL a few months ago?
Oh, definitely. You know, the scary part is I believe we can even be better. Really do believe that. You know, we lost a game against Westchester, was our last game that we lost, and that one hurt. You know, the guys were like really down because we felt like we could have done better in that game. And, you know, and props to them, they went all the way to New York City FC, and I figured that should have been us playing this week if we had just done our job. But, you know, you learn from them. That's what you do. And what I'm trying to build here is like trying to stay consistent and, you know, look for the goals. As you can see, I think we move the ball very fluently and we know where we're supposed to be. So again, it's just like I need to get the second set of guys who come in because they're going to be valuable, to be honest with you. I'd like to pull some guys out early to try to take advantage of having a lead, you know, so that I don't have to lose players and get hurt because I lost Big 12 again to an injury. But he should be back in a week, and then I'm working on, you know, Rances. Renan Rances is coming back soon.
We've been missing him.
Yeah.
He's been gone for a long time.
Yeah, very long time, but trust me, the man is working very hard, so shout out to him. He's like therapy, training, everything. So we should have him back soon and, you know, just give us more of another dimension to the game.
For those of you who are more recent followers of Renegades, Rances Renu, he was the national top scorer. I think it was fall 2024, was it, Boris?
Yes.
Correct me if I'm wrong. And I think he surpassed 30 goals.
Oh yeah, he did.
He
won the Golden Boot twice with us, and you know he got hurt, and you know it's been a long process back because he had a complete tear, but. He is healed. He's just getting stronger. That's what it is. So, you know, it takes a while, especially someone who's dynamic with the ball. So hopefully, but he's looking good. He's definitely looking good. So I can't wait to have him in the arsenal. Then that would be a three-headed attack on top. That's what I'm looking forward to that.
That'd definitely be scary. I can tell talking with you that none of the fire has been dimmed by winning a national title. It seems like you are feeling as hungry to win as ever.
Oh yeah, I mean teams expected me to let up, and I'm not letting up. I'm not gonna let up. I'm going for the back-to-back and trying to catapult us into even higher and bigger things. That's the whole point. So no, I'm not. We're not dimming. We're not coming out of it. If you want the title, come and get it. That's all I say. You know, I'm gonna be consistent with that. People can call it bragging, whatever. I don't care. We're here trying to get W's, and we're trying to move forward.
Well, 3 W's so far. So far, so good, Boris. Thanks very much for your time tonight. It's a pleasure watching the guys again in person. Guys, that just about does it for us here at Sousa Orland & Cohen Complex. Reminder, we've got 3 more UPSL games tomorrow night. Philadelphia Lone Star host New Jersey Alliance. We're going to have Osners against Red Hook. We're going to have USFSC. I think I've got that right. So many letters against SFC. Also at 7:30. All that exclusively on Game of Frames YouTube. Thanks so much to Marlon Diaz for the great work behind the camera. Thank you to Renegades for bringing us down here. Thank you to all of you for watching. This is